Section 4. Transport Policy Discussions. Currently, persons with disabilities are likely to avoid travel or have to choose expensive modes because of the inaccessibility of public transport infrastructure. Envisioning where we need to get to in 10 years' time, participants wanted transport to be accessible, available, and affordable. In addition, it should reduce social discrimination, preserving the dignity of all users rather than highlighting their differences. A partnership between Global North and Global South countries to model a sustainable and accessible transport system would be useful. In Zambia, delegates noted that they have a focal point person for persons with disabilities in the Ministry of Transport and Logistics. However, policies are limited, with no meaningful framework for inclusion or clear direction for a transition to inclusive transport systems. The limited policies which exist are outdated, including provisions to employ persons with disabilities as telephone operators, a role which is now obsolete. The Zambian delegates also noted the importance of broader infrastructure accessibility for buildings and so on. In Ghana, there are gaps in laws and policies with little consultation with persons with disabilities when drafting frameworks that might affect them. Delegates noted that a new electric vehicle policy offers training for persons with disabilities to use the new battery-powered vehicles, rather than a focus on making the vehicles accessible in the first place. As with the energy sector, awareness needs to be raised amongst policymakers. In Kenya, there are no national standards for accessible transport, including for roads, pavements, and bus stops. Transport operators claim to be disability-friendly, but passengers face challenges to access of stigma, discrimination, and higher prices. Awareness-raising trainings for transport operators, drivers, and conductors would be useful. Policy consultations, including persons with disabilities, are largely seen as merely box-ticking exercises. An example was given of Busigo Kenya, which operates a growing fleet of new electric buses. Although this company proudly advertises its social and environmental credentials, including to CCG, no inclusive designs or policies for persons with disabilities were noted. In Malawi, the disabled community has pushed for limited improvements, including for the duty-free import of disability vehicles. This provision is, however, being abused, with many vehicles imported to make use of the tax incentives, but converted back after importation. Overall, similar gaps in awareness, policy frameworks, and basic research were reported as seen elsewhere. This ends the section on transport policy discussions. In the next section, we'll cover mechanisms for greater inclusion.